It's really important that we consider different people at different stages of their life. Okay, so if we look at the younger end of the scale, we help people try and anticipate what might be ahead of them. So it's all about making sure that they're making good decisions based on where they are now, but also with an eye on where they're going to be in the future. If we look at the middle section, so a time when someone might be buying a practice, again their needs and their thoughts and the position that they are in life is different. So again, helping them anticipate what might be ahead, and again making good decisions, and then thinking about the next stage, which takes them into retirement and then beyond. So what happens there? What are my options? How do I need to prepare for that? What kind of things do I have to be aware of in order to make sure that I'm making the best possible decisions? So lifetime financial planning is exactly that. We look at what's happening now, but with an eye on what might be happening in the future in order to help people make good, well-informed decisions. I think when you look at it, especially in a niche area like dentistry, you want to deal with somebody who really gets you, who really understands your career path. They understand where your income comes from. They understand what the risks and opportunities are specific to your world. They can talk your language. They understand the jargon. I think really importantly, they understand the kind of political landscape of the world that you live in. So the specialism part means that you're dealing with somebody who really understands you, the world that you live in. You don't have to explain yourself in terms of what's happening within dentistry, within the practice. They just get it, they just understand. So they're starting off from a much higher place, and we're starting off from a much more informed place. So you get that. And then of course any advice that you get is going to be based on and tailored to you, the world that you live in, the occupation that you do, and then you've got the third element, which is the technical aspects. So because all they deal with is dentists, what you're looking at is somebody who really understands things like the NHS pension scheme. How does it work? What happens if this happens? What happens if there's some change in the political landscape that affects the pension elements? Our advisors would really understand that from the start. And then you've got to look at things like the other benefits, for example, that the NHS provide. How does that fit into your overall planning? And again, our specialists really understand that. There's a real risk, and this really worries me, of people making financial decisions based on what they read in the newspapers, or perhaps what they hear on the TV, or worse still, what their friends and colleagues are doing. Financial advice is very individual. It should be based on what's right for you as an individual. So doing what the person across the road's doing isn't necessarily the right thing for you. It might be fine for them, but it's not right for you. So financial advice from colleagues and friends is always risky for me, and it always concerns me. So I think the opportunity for people is to just take a step back, speak to somebody, we call them a challenging friend, a specialist, and get an opinion, and really take the time to take a step back and think, right, where am I going? What am I doing? Could I do it better? What can I do more of? What should I do less of? And just get it right for you. So that's the real opportunity for me. There's lots of questions around pensions. So what does that mean? Should I stop my pensions? Should I do more to contribute more towards pensions? Well, it really does depend on you, and it depends on your individual circumstances. So again, there's no right or wrong answer for across the board. It needs to be something that's tailored specifically to you. I think the final risk I would highlight is the risk of doing nothing. And again, that really worries me, where people just freeze in times like this, where there's so much going on, and the news is full of challenges and problems, and the financial world's in turmoil, etc. And I completely get all that. And the temptation is just to close your eyes and hope it goes away again and we'll see where we are this time next year. That's very rarely the right thing to do. It's so much more, you'd be so much better informed if you just take a step back and think, right, I need to ask some questions here. What should I be doing? Maybe I could be more proactive. Maybe there are opportunities out there. Maybe this is a good time to start investing. Maybe I should be stopping or changing the protection levels that I've got. But let's ask the question, let's look at it. I'd much rather that approach than people just closing your eyes and hoping that it goes away. There is always a risk, and what the financial markets can clearly point to, if you look over the last 50 years, there's always another crisis around the corner. So what is it we're waiting for? So my suggestion, my advice to anybody would be to at least seek advice, at least have a conversation with somebody around what you should and shouldn't be doing, where are the opportunities, where are the risks, and what decisions should you or could you be making.